So we're going to turn a little bit internal to the college at this point. Our last two speakers, we have our longest standing board member, who's also a public appointee, a five governor, just retired with us for the entire decade and has all the dirt. Looking forward to the expo day that is tonight.
Well, Diana was interested in some stories or whatever about our great leader here. I have to say, when I first met her, I was very impressed on the one hand, but scared out of my brains on the other. And I found her quite scary to begin with. She still scares me from time to time, but I guess I got used to it. So that's too bad. I just want to say a few things about protection of the public, as I suggest here, and what's been suggested by Tamara and Sonia before me. That's really what the college is all about. It's about protection of the public. I won't recite all the things, but it's everything from ensuring professional competence to continuing competence to developing ethical standards of practice, etc., etc., etc. You're all familiar with those kind of things. But again, they're all focused on protection of the public. Some of you might be wondering why a third of the board is made up of members of the public who really know nothing about dietetics. Again, it's about protection of the public. I have to say, however, that I did, when I came onto the board, I did know something about dietetics. I learned from my grandmother back in Liverpool. First off, you have to eat all of your peas, and whatever you do, you must boil cabbage and cauliflower for at least 40 minutes, otherwise they're not good for you. In any event, the public members are there to ensure that the board and indeed the organization remains focused on protection of the public. And that's not only board members. There are, on each of the committees, there's an external member as well, a member of the public. And we bring other skills that from time to time are useful. Fiduciary skills, financial, strategic planning, HR, organizational development, all of those things that aren't necessarily present in a group representing a particular profession. And the other role that we play is to prevent the organization and the committees, the board and the regular committees, straying off into things of greater interest to them. That includes things like, human resource problems they're dealing with at a particular place they're working at, terms of employment, the kinds of things that really is in the bailiwick of the DC, and so on and so forth. At the beginning, I remember quite frequently having to say, when my eyes began to glaze over, saying, "Excuse me, perhaps we should get back to the agenda," right? And gradually what's happened over the years is people have come to understand that this is a professionally run organization that has to focus on the business of the organization and not on some of the nice things that people like to talk about in professions, right? You do that outside or within the context of other settings. So that's really what we're all about. And I guess what I've seen in terms of my involvement with this organization, I've seen it move from a nascent organization struggling with all the things that were being talked about earlier on, to what is now a mature, capable, professional organization with a very keen and focused interest on protection of the public. And I can assure you as registrants, you should be very, very proud of everything, both the board members, the staff, and the committee members, most of whom come from your group. Very, very proud of what those people have done over the last decade. And I can only wish you all the best in the next 10. Thank you very much.